Here I have a multiplication problem, 43 and 5/10 times 25 hundredths. Now notice I haven't lined up the decimals. You don't need to do this with multiplication. When we're dealing with decimals, the only time we have to have them lined up is when we add or subtract. So this is just going to be a straight multiplication problem until I get to the end where I have my answer, and then I'm going to put my decimals in. So let's take a look at the next phase of this, solving this problem. I am multiplying here, and I am multiplying by the 5, so I have to multiply all my top numbers in the problem by 5. So I get 5 times 5 is 25. I place my 5 in my answer row and I carry my 2. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 more is 17. I place 7 in my answer row and carry the 1. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 1 is 21. So I've completed my multiplication using the 5. The next step is to multiply using the 2. So let's take a look at that. In my answer row, before I start multiplying by that 2, I have to drop a 0. The reason I have to do that is my place value is changing. I have to allow for that change in place value. So my first 0 goes down in my answer row. Then I do 2 times 5 and I put a 0 in my answer row and I carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 more is 7. So now 7 goes in my answer row. And then I do my final multiplication, which is 2 times 4 to get 8. And I put 8 in my answer row. My next step is going to be to add all these up. So let's take a look at that. Remember at the beginning when I said we don't worry about our decimals until we get to the very end? Well, we're not quite at the very end yet. So let's add all these up. 5 plus 0 is 5. 7 plus 0 is 7, 1 plus 7 is 8, and 2 plus 8 is 10. So I've correctly done my addition now, and the last step is to place the decimals. So let's take a look at what that looks like. To try and help you out, I've gone back to the very beginning, 43.5 times 0.25, and notice I've circled all the numbers that are to the right of my decimal. How many circles do I have? I have 3. So what that means is I'm going to take my invisible decimal, which is on the end of 10,875, and I need to move it 3 spaces to the left. Now, a lot of kids make a mistake and they start on the left and they move to the right. Don't do that, don't do that. Do it just like I've done here in the red. Place your decimal at the end and then move your decimal however many places to the left. And like I said, in my problem, I'm moving it 3 places to the left. So my answer for this problem is 10 and 875 thousandths, or 10.875. Watch this video again as many times as it takes to learn how to place decimals in a multiplication problem.